Hello friends. In a forgotten corner of a desolate farm, an emaciated mother dog lay chained to a rusting post. Her once vibrant coat was now dull and matted, her body too weak to move. She had fought for too long, through hunger, cold nights, and the pain of her tightening chains. Now, all that was left was her last breath, hanging by a thread. Beside her, a tiny puppy, barely old enough to understand the cruelty of the world, stood vigilant. His ribs pressed against his skin, but his spirit was fierce. He hadn't known much of life, but he knew enough to love his mother, even as her strength ebbed away. The puppy's tiny legs shook as he stood guard, eyes darting at every sound in the night. A faint growl escaped his throat whenever danger seemed near. In his innocence, he believed he could protect her from the cruel world that had already taken so much from them. His mother, though barely able to lift her head, watched her pup with a heart too heavy for words. She wished she could wrap her paws around him, shield him from the bleak reality, but the chains that bound her were unyielding. Her maternal instinct was stronger than ever, but she was powerless to act on it. Suddenly, a shadow moved in the distance, a stray, perhaps, or a wild animal. The puppy barked, his tiny body trembling as he stepped forward, ready to defend his mother. He had no strength, no experience, but his love for her outweighed his fear. The shadow grew closer, and the puppy's heart raced. He barked louder, his small body between the approaching figure and his mother. But just as the shadow stepped into the moonlight, it wasn't a predator, it was a human. The rescuer knelt, taking in the heartbreaking sight. Without a word, the chains that held the mother fell away. The puppy barked once more, uncertain but hopeful. The kind hands scooped him up, and as the human lifted the frail mother, she let out a soft, relieved whimper. For the first time in days, the pup didn't need to stand guard. He nestled into his mother's fur as they were carried away from the place that had been their prison. Safe at last, they would heal together, free to live out the love that had never faltered, even in their darkest hour.